Fortunately, I'm s- I'm still using the same laptop. Is it possible if you may access it through the link that I sent in our previous meeting?
Why don't you just send me the same link instead of me trying to hunt for it? So, Julia, ever find out why your internet is so poor in terms of quality and you're frozen?
Hello?
Hello. So,
Hello?
hello. So now all
Hi,
of a
Mr.
sudden your
Benjamin.
video seems to be a little,
Hi, Rudy.
forget it. I can't understand a single thing you're saying because of your internet quality.
Hello?
Hello.
Maybe it's the weather
It can't.
again.
It can't always be the weather.
Mister, I'm serious. It's like raining here. It's storming outside. Like just a minute ago, it was storming. Like boom, boom.
Yeah, but
No?
that shouldn't matter really. We're not. We're not doing. We're not
Yeah.
doing DSL. We're doing.
I'll, um,
You should ask your provider, and you should do a.
I'll try to.
You
Yeah.
should ask your provider why your quality is so bad, and you should research why what you need to do to fix it. Who's your provider?
Okay, I will. You mean like my parents or?
No, you don't ask your parents how to fix it. Who's your internet service
Yeah.
provider?
Oh, it's Verizon.
So, right, research how to, right, whether you got to convert your router, your cache, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you put it in the chat again? I'm still looking for it, but I don't see it. Abud,
I just sent it. I just sent it right now. If you may check again.
where?
To support.
Why would you send me an email? We don't send emails in this company normally, do we?
It's the link.
I don't care whether it's a pigeon, right? From the very beginning, I said, do not use email as a method of communicate. We do not use email as a method of communication. So where should
Yes.
so where should you have put the link?
I have no idea.
Really?
I'm just assuming based on the because on the last meeting, I sent the link to your email. Um, and that's how we were able to access it.
Julia,
So
where were you supposed to communicate through?
WhatsApp,
So I guess you do know. You're supposed to have your,
but I don't have WhatsApp
you don't have WhatsApp on your what?
on my computer.
Maybe that's why I let you send it before from an email. But why don't you add WhatsApp to your computer? Because it's not your computer because your other one's damaged. Okay, fine.
The
You could still
yeah.
you can put it into the chat in Zoom and I'd get it also. So
Okay.
you had two ways to do it other than email. And after your name, you're supposed to have what country you're from. Okay. Okay. Are you putting it into the chat?
Uh, Hold on.
See, these logistical, administrative things shouldn't take us 5 minutes every session or 10 minutes every session. They're just a colossal waste of time. Thank you. So if you know you're going to share, just put it where I'm going to go ahead and get it. And then that's easy. Okay,
Oh, I forgot to delete that at the bottom.
that's right. Um, so when you ran it through, which one did you run through in order to get your sitemap?
ChatGPT.
So does it say that anywhere?
No, it doesn't.
Do you think it might be a good idea to say that?
Okay, I'll change the where it's written sitemap template to write that it was generated by ChatGPT.
And why didn't you run any of the others?
I did. Um, I chose to use ChatGPT because it was more detailed and yeah, it gave me mm, everything that I was looking for.
Okay, does it say that? So
It does
you're
not say that.
you're providing you have objective and prompts, and you've got four different AIs, and then you don't say which one you're using, and you don't say why you didn't use any of the others. So you actually could have gone ahead and given them all a ranking, and then you could have shown that ChatGPT had the highest ranking because of for this, and this. So it actually looks like you did some analysis as opposed to, I just picked the first one on the list. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. So now you have, okay. So the spreadsheet itself looks real good. Um, I'm not sure I agree with your status choices. And I don't know why complete would be at the first choice when that's usually the last thing that's done. It's completed, not the first thing that's done. And plan seems to be unnecessary. If it's here, it's planned. So I think that you need to revise what these say and to revise the order of
Okay.
them. Okay. Now, what was the next thing that you were supposed to actually do? Assuming that what you said at the onset of the conversation is correct, this is my last iteration of it. And how do you know that? How do you know this is your last iteration?
Well, no, I said hopefully. Hopefully it is my last.
What makes the determination?
Well, I believe this is everything that goes into a sitemap template that is developer focused.
Okay,
It
what's the
has
purpose of what we're doing about it? What's the purpose of everything we do?
um to get everything up to a higher standard,
That's not the purpose of
if
what
I may
why we
say.
do what we do. That's not the purpose of why we do what we do. What's the purpose of why we do what we do? Julia, do you know the purpose of why we do what we do? And Julia, why aren't you on camera?
We do a lot of things, Mr. Benjamin. Can you be more specific?
Oh, I cannot. You should be able to answer that question based upon just what I said. We've got one purpose for what we do.
To make the world a better place
And how do we do that?
Improve the quality of life of kids, people on the planet.
That's what we do. That's our goal, what we do, right? How do we do it?
through our programs,
Say again?
through our programs,
Through our program. So what's the purpose of what we do, what you're doing? To use it in the real world. Isn't that what we say? This is not school where you're just doing exercises. So what's missing from, right, your completion of this task that you've been working on, this project that you've been working on? I told you what
I
to do
don't
last time.
know
I
what's
told you that
missing.
what to do specifically last time. And what are you supposed to do during meetings? You're supposed to take detailed notes. What I said specifically was, right, now that you've gotten to this right level, what you need to do is run it through an AI with a real world program. And then you can see,
No,
know what?
that's not what I was supposed to do. What I was supposed to do was to um create show how the screens link, integrating
That was the step
the a
before Abud. I understand what I told you.
yes,
I understand what I told you. Okay. That was the step before. That was with the yellow, right, highlights that I did to make it easier for you to track and to do. And I also said, whether you heard it or not, right, the next step is to run this through with a real world app and see how it does. because that's the only way. It's the
Yeah.
same thing that I've been saying from the very beginning. You can't create, right, your 4 steps in the Pmoros system in your spreadsheet, right, and your action steps about what you're going to do without actually testing the things as you go along. It's pointless. You can't create a contact spreadsheet just by creating the headers and saying, "Oh, I did it." You have no idea whether it works or not. If you're not actually testing this,
Yes.
you don't know whether it works. So your next question is, how do I test it?
Yes. So despite mishearing you, I did search for apps that use no code. And in our previous meeting, I believe I saw you used Glide. So I went on Glide um, and tried to upload my Google Sheets, but I got an error. So I tried multiple times and I got a 403 error from the application.
Because that's not how you do it. You're on the wrong
Yes.
track.
Uh,
Okay. So you correct me if I didn't understand what you said, but did you take this and upload it into Glide?
I went to Glide and it gave me the options of how I could, you know, present my work. And Google Sheets was one of the options. So I clicked on Google Sheets. It didn't go any further than that. It just gave me a 403 error. So I
Okay.
tried multiple times and it didn't work.
Okay. But that's not how we're doing this. The way that you would do this is you would tell the AI the type of app that you want to build, and then you would say, use this structure to develop a specific sitemap for that application. That's what I told you to do. Did you write that down now?
Yeah, I mean,
Does does that make
no,
does that
no,
make
you, in our, to be honest, Mr. Benjamin, that was going to be the next step. That was what we're supposed to do in our next meeting after correcting the content and the prompts. Because my what you told me to do last time was to check on fix my prompts and also just make sure that there's a linkage to show navigation flow so that
okay?
anybody that is
Okay, so
that is where we ended.
I told you what the next step was, but I didn't ask you to do it. That's what you
Yes,
okay.
yes.
So that's fine. So then what you could have said when I started this whole thing was not that you didn't know anything about it, right? But it was the next step that I was going to do because you told me I can wait on that. Doesn't that make a lot more sense then than what you were doing just now? You
No,
got
but
you got to have it's still effective communication, right? We're communicating on two
Mr.
different
Ben,
things.
Mr. Benjamin, you did not give me the chance to explain. You just grilled me straight out. But I do understand.
I did give you the chance because you told me some other stuff. If I didn't give you the chance to explain, how could you have told me about what you did with Glide? Okay.
No, me going ahead with Glide was to be one step ahead before our next meeting.
Okay. So that's
Yeah.
not the way to do it. But the way that I just explained it, which was the same way I explained it previously, is what you need to do. Okay. Now the question is, do you want me to give you what the application is that you're going to run?
Yes, please.
Okay, that I can do, right? So I'm not going to give it to you right at this minute. Let's see. Do you want to? Do you want me to give you what it is and then you start at the beginning and you write up what the objective is and what the prompts are? Do you want to go from that standpoint or do you want me to go ahead and do all that?
Well, hmm,
Okay, I've got an answer. Why don't we both do it? So you do it your way, I'll do it my way, and then we'll compare. And then whichever is better, we'll say it that way, that's the one that you'll use to actually do the next step. Is that good? So that way you can
yes,
compare what you're doing with what I'm doing.
yes.
Okay. So let me tell you, hi guys. If you're not on video, go on video, please. You're supposed to be on video when you're here. Stop here. Okay. So let me go ahead and give you what this app is going to be. Let me do some searching real quick. Fine. Let me see what I got here. Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, so this is the design of the app. I don't know why it's so dark. There it goes. So, one planet, one people, quality of life programs for people and the planet. The name of the app is called, anybody want to guess? What happened? Everything
Forgot.
was disappeared.
I forgot the name, but
Planned acts of kindness.
Nope.
it
What?
was 5 seconds. I forgot. I forgot what it was called.
It's simple. It's called 5, 10, 15.
Oh,
Ignore.
It
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and we've got a lot of stuff coming up, guys. Um, okay, so I'm going to put that just so you have the graphic in your WhatsApp. There's a spreadsheet here also that I'll put in. The spreadsheet will probably need some explanation. Okay, there's 3 different levels: orange sun, blue sky, green earth. Okay, and then what's included in that membership under each. But um, okay, and I'm not going to get into any of this bottom part from here down. right now because it's complicated. And this is complicated enough. Okay. But it still doesn't tell you what the app is. So I have to go ahead and I'll see if I have one more place. 1 second. Two. Okay. So this is I'll have to write it up and give you some basics first. Okay. Because if I give you just this, it'll be too hard for you to figure out from my notes about how this thing works. I'll give you them. You want me to give them to you? Or you want me to make it simpler so you understand it more in prose form?
I was thinking we could schedule another meeting for tomorrow and maybe
Sure.
go more into
Oh,
details
absolutely.
about, yes,
Absolutely. So hang tight, okay? And you'll get all that by tomorrow before our meeting, by our meeting. Okay,
yes,
good. And just so you know, there's a lot of things coming up. I just went ahead and signed up for a whole suite of software programs. And what's going to happen is starting possibly as early as this weekend, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go into the dashboard, and then we're going to pick applications that have to do with the work that you're doing or the work that's coming up that you're going to be doing. And then you're going to learn how to use this software in order to help with your projects. Okay. And the software has a lot of different functionality available. Everything from CRM, client relationship management, to ability to send out custom emails, custom SMS messaging. There's a whole bunch of stuff. And I'll give you links to some of the tutorials on there so you can see all that. Also, I'm going to be instituting a a series of courses, one on AI prompt development, and another on project management and the Pmoros system, and then the third with live integration. So there are more intensive courses on each of the subjects because actually you need to know how to go ahead and do your objectives and your prompt writing very effectively in order to go ahead and help achieve what you want to for your work. And then secondly, you've got to know how to really use the Pmoros system for literally every step of the way that you do. You can't just forget about using it and go back to your old ways and think that you're going to be as successful. It's just not going to work. So you've got to know, right, what your objective is, really how to research, how to outline, and then how to integrate that into your project management. So there's that as a secondary course. And the other thing is that I am going to monetize it. Whereas if you have other people or companies and you promote it on social media and you have people, organizations, or whatever signing up to take the courses, their paid courses, you will receive compensation. So the thing is that what you're going to be doing is you're going to be giving testimonials about how we, the information that we teach, how we teach, even though it's different than what you've done. You'll get information on that. You'll be able to post those, and then you'll be able to refer people to the course, just like an affiliate program. Has anyone ever worked with an affiliate program before? If you have, raise your hand. If you haven't, raise your hand. Okay. Isaac, are you participating? No, you didn't. Right. Go ahead and do it. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So who'd like to go next? And good job, Mayabud, on your spreadsheet and on the division of work that you did in it. I want you to compare where you started and where you've ended up so far and really see the difference. And you can create a side-by-side snapshot, right, of what those look, and then save that. Okay. And sometimes if you go through a lot of different iterations, you can go, right, originals, right, iteration 1, 2, 3, right, final approved product. And you can zip through that, and people, it's impressive in terms of the transformation that you have in your work. Okay, so good deal. Okay, who's next?
Okay, thank you.
I can go next. Yeah, I'll share my screen. So for pop displays, we have few replies, and some of them also submitted their quotations and RFQs, which we have asked them to fill. So these were the details of the
Okay,
RFQ which we received.
so right off on your unit prices, you've got to have those flush right. You can't have them on the left-hand side because they're decimal driven and none of the decimals line up. So it's almost impossible for somebody to figure out what the heck you're talking about easily.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is that you've got mixed things in there. So if it's a unit price, okay, based on 100, why does it have two numbers in there? What do they
Uh, yeah. It's because we have two different sizes, right? One is 10 feet and one is full tower and half tower. So I have divided it into two parts so that it would be easier for us to look at it.
Okay,
So
so
first,
it's not easy to look at. So what's a better way to have done that?
maybe add another uh, column.
Correct. And then you could have had both sizes, and then you could have put the numbers in their respective columns, and then it's super simple to understand and to make evaluations on which to go with.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So let me, this is, okay, before I get into asking some more questions, what else do you want to tell me about this? Okay, so I already see. Okay, so you have a ranking that you established already based upon your analysis of the information. Okay, so why didn't you sort your columns, right, based upon that ranking and you didn't spell received right in column C, or somewhere it wasn't spelled right. Maybe it's a different area. Oh, right
Yeah.
there. Yeah, in 8, 9, and 10. Okay. So, so now, right, you can see that there's a ranking associated with it, right? I can't make the determinations yet because I don't see the difference in size, and that's in inches. So it's,
Mm.
and you would normally put that into parentheses, okay? So that people, you can't assume that everyone is familiar with what you're doing in the spreadsheet.
Yes.
Okay, so you want to make sure everything's clarified.
Mm.
Okay, so um, I assume that and you're going to have to correct me because we're not supposed to make assumptions, but there's no price in column K for company row 2, okay, which has the one ranking. So does that mean that they only have a minimum order of 500 or more that they accept?
Yes. Yes.
So what should you indicate in order, what should you do in order to indicate that, as opposed to me just making an assumption about that's how it is?
I have mentioned here for MOQ for each of
Okay,
them. Yeah, I can put an NA.
okay. Um, okay. Can you scroll to your right or go scroll to your
Uh,
left or whichever? Can I see the rest of the columns? Okay. Is there a turnaround time? Is there
s-
a shipping, is there shipping information? Is there, whether it's in bundles of what, how much does each one weigh? Uh,
okay.
More detailed information. Where is that?
I'll update them. This week I was a little busy with some interviews, so I didn't get a chance to update everything.
Okay.
So yeah,
And they're located in Jamais. What is that? There's nobody in Guangzhou.
Guangzhou, I think it's a district. These are cities, so
Okay. Well, Guangzhou's a city also, isn't it?
I'll check if there is some
Because
misinformation.
I've been there and it's a major manufacturing hub
Okay.
in
Mm,
China, where Shanghai
mm,
is financial or whatever,
yes.
Beijing is government. Okay. Um, and yeah, so this looks good. Just do those changes, add more information so that we have complete turnaround time, shipping weight, shipping bundles. How's it, bundles,
Mm,
um, and samples, like if we got them, designs next week,
mm.
what's their turnaround time, you know? Um, and
Yes, I'll
let's see.
and yeah, communicate with them as well.
Okay, good. So, and the other ones that didn't supply information, you can continue to follow up with them.
Yes, yes, I'm doing that as well. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so that's that. Um, we still have to get together on the next product, which is the medical
Yes.
specifications. Did you do a sample specifications for a sock?
No, not yet. I didn't get at time this week, as
Okay.
I said.
So
Yeah,
when
I'll be
when
there
when
today.
okay, so
Mm,
you're going to do it based on a compression sock,
yes.
okay? And with the compression sock, there's two sizes.
Okay.
There's one that's the same size as the foot glove that we're doing, which is above the ankles.
Mm,
And then there's the other one, which is right, basically, knee length.
okay.
Okay. um, and really, it's the better one is really the knee length one.
Okay.
Okay. Um, but we want the specifications for the ankle one, so that we can compare that with what we're doing for the glove itself, for the foot glove
Okay.
itself. Okay. Okay. So
Mm,
yeah. And then, please get that done, because we want to
yes.
get that information out there also.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. So, and then what about the Matryoshka themselves?
We have already. I will just open. We need to request samples and send out our designs, so they are waiting for our designs before.
Are they
Yeah.
going to give us any templates to work from in order to give them the design? So, in other words, if you took the Matryoshka, which is three-dimensional, and you laid it out flat like a map
Okay.
of the Earth,
Okay.
okay,
Mm.
we would need to see the position of, right, the shape
The
of it,
dimension. Yeah.
right, as it's laid out flat,
Yeah.
so we know where our images go.
Okay. Yeah, I'll reach out to them and ask about these so that they'll send it out and then we can send out our sample
Right. Because then we can
designs.
give them, and then also dimensions for the box.
Yeah, some of them send the dimensions of the box. Yeah.
Okay. So are you attaching files to the ones that have sent?
Yes. As you can see, there are some links for packaging. So these are the links for the
Okay, good.
box. Yes.
Good, good, good. And then scroll to your left, please. So, um, okay. And you might want to fill out some of those status. Let's see what you have for status.
I didn't yet put the status for
Okay.
these.
So
Yeah.
if you can, that way we can look at status and we can see what's going on with all of these.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yeah.
create your criteria for your status.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
It looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wait one sec. Let's see, size. Okay. So if you're going to go with decimals, right, on size, on K and L, okay, then use the same, right? If you're using, a one decimal, right, then
Okay.
use one. If you're using
Okay.
three decimal points over, use three for all of
Mm.
those. Just do it right now and let's see the difference. Show more. Yeah, you don't have to even do it that way. Just, it's kind of the long way around. But now, wait. You wiped out the third decimal place, and some of these did have three decimal places. So now
Yeah.
go, just go to your right. Yeah, no, don't forget about that. Go to your left one. No. Go right where you were, up top, up. No, down. Where it has decimals there. Now click on that one. Show more. And just there you go. It's simple
Okay.
to do it that way. You don't have to go through a whole bunch of crap. Okay, so now you got three. Okay, for
Mm.
real precision. This one you should have two,
Mm.
or excuse me, one. Don't do it that way. Just go do the other way.
It's not showing up if I click on this.
Oh,
Maybe it should be in number before.
okay, there you
Yeah.
go. Okay. So try to make sure that when you do these things, go to you. Go to you. Click on it. What's that one going to be?
Should be pricing.
Now it's currency.
Yeah, currency.
Okay, and do the same thing. Now, if you do currency again, do it again. This should give you a little bit different look than that. Okay, it's supposed to take the dollar signs. There we go. That's how it's supposed to look. Make your
Yeah.
column a little bit wider. Not that wide. Okay. So that way, right, you can see, right, what these things really mean. Okay. Okay. Good. Um, okay. So anything else?
That's it, I guess, from my side. Yeah.
Okay, good. So I look forward to the next revisions.
Okay. Sure.
Because we
Yeah.
want to start jumping on some of this stuff now and going into
Mm.
the sample and quality control areas.
Oh, yes, yes. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Julia, you've been here for a while. You're not on video.
Hi, Mr. Benjamin. Hello.
I can't see you. Now I can. Okay. So you have something you want to share? She's from Texas in the United States, and she's got the worst internet. Right? Jadib, you're in Texas, aren't you?
I'm in California.
Okay. Somebody else is in Texas.
Yasis, I guess.
Oh, okay. Thanks. I can't remember that stuff. Okay. I know I'm in New York. That's about it. Okay. At least until the end of the month. Then you'll be talking to me from Malaysia. And then Indonesia, Vietnam, Singapore, and maybe one other place. Okay, so Julia disappeared, right? So, right, Isaac, you're up.
Mhm. Good day, Mr. Benjamin. Um, my colleagues, thank you very much. So I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I'm so curious. I'm so curious in such a way that the rate at which we started, I think when I started, it was not slow like this from my end, and I was worried because I remember the bargain we had. Good 6 months, good to go. 3 books in good 6 months. 3 good books, three
Don't worry about
million.
that. What are you working on
Okay.
right now?
Right now, I was able because at the beginning the worry is that we talked about the objectives. I just have to leave the objectives because we could not be able to to spell out what the objective from my end, what the objective should be. Let me share the screen or
Okay.
because
let's clarify something.
okay.
Okay, just listen.
Okay.
And Julia, go on camera. The objective you can clarify for a book. Okay. The thing is that books can be targeted on specific subjects, or the objective can be an eclectic mix of subjects based on the featured experts. So there's two ways to go ahead and do this, right, based upon objectives for the book in terms of subject matter. So it is defined. It's either defined specifically as one of the STGs, right? Or it's defined by the group that are going to be featured in the book and what are the issues that are important to them. Do you understand that?
Yes.
So therefore, you need to revise your original statement because it's not exactly accurate. Okay, so what's the deal? What are you trying to tell me?
I think I was able to get you clear right now concerning the objectives. You have said it earlier. And then the next aspect, we talked about researching on those experts, and we interview them, having sent a bulk customized mail to all of them. And from there, we can see their responses.
Well,
Their responses.
actually, the first thing that we're supposed to do in terms of outreach and engagement is call.
Okay.
Call.
Okay.
Okay. And then, right, if we need to go through the email process, we can do that. So Julia is doing the same thing with her group of featured experts. She's right calling their representatives. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to the process. And then you can also take notes. And it says it in the spreadsheet that's supposed to manage how you do a book. Okay, that's an action pack for book development. There's 8 steps to it. One of the steps is engagement. Okay, and then it has scripts that you use. We haven't gotten up to that point because you haven't been showing me, right, the work that you've done in the research side of it. You haven't been having enough meetings with me to go over the specifics of what you're working on so I can give you the feedback, right, so that you can progress. Okay? So instead of having one meeting a week, you should be having at least 3 meetings a week. Okay. So
okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. I look at it this way since what Julia was going into is almost the same thing that I'm to do. And I look at it, I think our meeting together, looking at how I go about mine and our own work too, I can be able to figure out where I could not get it right, and also she can be able to figure out.
My head's going to fall off if you keep having me do that. I said at the very beginning, the reason why I didn't put you people together in the beginning is because that's what you want to do. You want to go, let me go talk to, right, another, person is in the same situation as me, so I can go ahead and see what they're doing, and then I can go ahead and figure out how I'm supposed to do my work better. That's exactly what you just said. Yes? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what's the reason why I don't do that? Anyone want to share?
Yes, I think one of the reasons so that we can be able to develop ourselves to make sure that we give it all what you require to be able to bring out
That's
something
one of the
reasonable.
reasons. That's one of the reasons, but it's not the biggest reason. That is one of the reasons, yes, but it's not the biggest reason.
Okay.
The biggest reason is, right, if you want to learn how to do brain surgery, do you want to go to one of your peers, which is also, let's say, an intern in the medical department, to learn how to do brain surgery? Or do you want to learn from the head of, right, surgery, right, at the hospital and the school where you're attending? Who would you rather learn from?
Have to learn from the head, someone that is very expert.
So why would I have you go to, right, your fellow, right, interns or fellow workers, right, when you guys are still learning what to do? You're not experts. So that's going to get you off on the wrong track. So that's why I don't allow it to happen initially. I'm putting you together now for group training, right, for different purposes. Okay, so you got that now? Is that cleared up?
Very well.
For everything that we do, there's reasons why we do what we do.
Okay.
Okay, you need to be coming to me and showing me your work. Now, it doesn't mean that when I talk to Julia, you can't pay attention and learn, but you're not learning from Julia, you're learning from me.
Exactly.
Okay, so the things that I'm telling Abood about how he's doing his work and blah, 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 you can be paying attention. You can be saying, I'm not doing exactly the same thing, but I can still learn from listening to what, right, he's going through. And that's another way that you learn. You put yourself in that situation and you apply it to what you're doing. Okay, so the thing is, do you have your lists, your contact spreadsheets to show?
Yes, I have the contact spreadsheets. I've showed it to you earlier before.
I know. So what's your next step?
mm, mm. Let me share it with you. You have taught me what to do from the beginning. That I should be able to fill in the gaps. My lightning, that's serious.
Okay, can you reduce the screen size?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so industry, position, blah, 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 email address, phone number, LinkedIn. Okay, so we don't have really ways to get in touch with them. Go to your right. What's after LinkedIn? And what did I say about column width? Adjust your column width, right? So that you can see more of your content on the screen. So
Yes.
what's the difference between this and what you showed me before? Because I really don't see a difference.
That is what I'm saying. I say, actually, you have said it all, that I should be able to be bringing the work to you in as much as you have told me what to do, as you update it and bring it to you.
Okay, so did you do it for sports artists and celebrities, which is spelled wrong?
Yes, I was able to
Celebrities are
gather,
spelled wrong.
not
Okay.
much. I was able to gather, but not much.
You got 17 sports people?
Mm.
You can get 17 from one team.
Okay.
And you don't have what sport they play. So that doesn't make much sense. That's like, saying the person's a business person, but not saying what industry they're in. So what sport do these people play?
Mm.
These are sports people, yes?
Yeah.
Isaac, you got to answer my questions if I ask you a question.
Yes, I have to figure out back and make sure that
You shouldn't be
was
having to
everything.
figure out anything. You should be
Okay.
writing a prompt to AI,
Mm.
right? And then having
Mm.
AI do the research and put it into columns where it can do hundreds at a time. Why aren't you following the system? You're not supposed to research this, directly, because it's going to take too long for you to do.
Mm.
So where's your objective and your prompt, right? That governs what you do for doing your research here. If you don't have it, that should be what you should be doing next. And we already talked about what you're putting into your prompt, right? Information about what foundations or charities or causes, right, they're affiliated with, correct?
Yes, yes.
So
But I have a question. And
you
my question is, you, you talked about uh, user-generated prompt and then AI-generated prompt. And for instance, now in these entrepreneurs we are looking at and the sports. So in each of the sheets, I should be able to have the user-generated prompt and the AI-generated prompt in the next call in the last column of the sheet, or is going to be among the objective sheet.
where do you think?
Should be in the same sheet with the if it is for entrepreneurs, the prompts I user-generated prompt and the AI-generated prompt should be at the end column of each of the sheets.
That's incorrect on two levels,
Okay.
right?
Mm.
You wouldn't put your objective and your prompt at the end. That's backwards, first of all. It goes at the
Okay.
beginning, and it's not in the same sheet, because then you're compromising, right, the integrity of your data sheet.
Okay.
So you can put it in a separate sheet, which is objectives and prompts, and you just set it up and you label things properly so whoever's looking at it can read it. And the
Okay.
thing is that once you have it written properly for entrepreneurs, right, and then it's a question of just modifying it for the other subjects, the other categories, right?
Okay.
But you've got to write it properly, and the user generated prompt is what you're going to go ahead and write based upon the four elements of effective prompt writing. Okay. And then the AI generated prompt is what the AI is going to generate after you feed it the objective and your user generated prompt.
If 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 I understand it very well, the user-generated prompts I I think the next thing, I will feed it in the AI, then the AI will rewrite the prompt for me.
in order to improve the outcome. And then the
Yes.
next step
Eh,
is you've got to actually test it
Okay.
with getting data. So you
Okay.
don't want to go ahead and run, right? Give me 1,000 of the 1,000 rows. You want to say, give me a finite number, right? With whatever other parameters go into your prompt. And then you want to show that to me after you think it's done it correctly for evaluation analysis. That's the system. Okay. So
Yes,
it's
sir.
not a question of just writing it. You've got to
Yes.
also test it when you get to that stage.
And the prompts, having used different AI like Perplexity and ChatGPT. I think the ChatGPT, uh, Perplexity and ChatGPT, I should be able to differentiate them in the sheet that these are the prompts for the Perplexity AI. These are the prompts for the ChatGPT. If there are other ones, I should be able to bring them in the objective sheet
Not should,
to be able.
not
Okay,
should.
okay,
You need to do that. That's part of your management.
okay,
So, absolutely, yes.
okay, sir.
And then you need to also do something else after you run them.
Okay.
Anybody know what he's supposed to do after he runs them?
After running the test,
What are you supposed to do? Jadib should know because he's done it himself, right? Abood should know because we discussed it.
You should analyze
And
analyze the analyze the results that the prompts give him, and then um he should synthesize next.
well, he should rank them.
Yes.
He should rank them, right? So that's your recommendation as to what we do to move forward.
I will just run it, analyze it, and synthesize the data.
Well, you're not going to synthesize yet, really, because you're just going to have it run it, and then it's going to be up for analysis, right? Synthesize means you've got to bring things together from different sources, okay? Or you've got to go through the material and then distill it down into a usable form. Okay, so either of those are things that happen when you synthesize. The thing is, you're not going to synthesize the information from the spreadsheet that it develops. Okay, you're going to possibly do database management on it. Okay, there are things that you synthesize, things that you don't necessarily have to, right? And it's too complicated to get into because there's too many variations, right, of what you're doing and what comes back in order to synthesize. Okay, that's project by project. We'll go through that. When it comes up, don't worry, I'll hit on it. If it doesn't come up, I'm not going to go into it.
Okay.
Too much information for you guys to handle. Okay, so good. Now you got a clear understanding?
Yes. The last question I have is the entrepreneurs, the sport, the artists, the celebrities, the having get the different AI application I've used. I should be able to differentiate all this, the entrepreneur, the sport, the artist, and the rest on in terms of the user generated prompt and the AI generated prompt. Okay.
Okay. Don't make the mistake of grouping them all together when you do your searches. Do them
Okay.
separately.
Okay.
You don't want the AI to have too much information to process and screw it up.
Okay.
So do them separately, do them one at a time. Make sure it works first by getting it cleared by me,
Okay.
because your prompt has to be tremendously specific. Okay, you can't just let the AI create the fields that you're going to utilize, because it's not going to be enough, most likely, for what we want.
Okay.
So you've got to tell it what we're looking for. You got to tell it how you want the information. That's where you put it in the style and the voice and whatever. You can do that. Okay.
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 Yes, sir.
Good. Okay. So Julia, you're up. You're a step beyond that. Because
I'm so,
I
yeah,
gave you the contacts.
the context. Thank you.
Right.
Oh wait, is it my turn?
Yes.
Wait, I'll join the meeting through my laptop because I'm on my phone.
Well, this is your best quality yet on whatever you've done. So
Oh,
stay
thank
on this. If you have something to share, put
yeah.
it into the WhatsApp and I will open it, okay, and show it.
I will just wait for a moment, sir.
Sure. Okay.
Okay.
While she's doing that, anybody else have any questions or feedback that they want to share?
I have a question, Mr. Benjamin.
Yeah, go ahead.
Th the next meeting is at 8 p.m. and I wanted to, would it be compulsory for me to attend since it will be 2 a.m. over here?
No.
Okay.
Tomorrow I'm gonna put a time for tomorrow's meeting, because tomorrow's meeting, or maybe it's gonna be Sunday, I'm not sure. I want to go over some of the like the next phase. So I want to go over the new software program and then have people choose based upon what they're, you know, what they're working on, or choose, or I'll go ahead and say, okay, these are 3 programs out of the 30 that you can explore that can help you do what you're working on. Okay. And there's, so that will either be tomorrow or Saturday. I'm going to go over the course program again that I just spoke about earlier. But we want to go into, the actual production of what we're working on. So now we've done foundation work. Next, we want to go into the production. So you've been doing work on, right, how to go ahead and develop effective apps. Okay. So you know that these are the elements that go into effective apps, so that when you go to an AI app builder, it creates blah, 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 and you can say, wait a second, aren't we missing this, this, and this? And then it'll say, oh yeah, sorry about that. Okay. Conversely, you can use what we developed as a template and give it, and this is what we're hoping to test now. We give it an app that we wanted to build, and we wanted to go ahead then and create the complete structure of what we need. Then we take that structure and then we run it through one of the not one, but multiple no code app builders to see who can actually do what they claim they can do. Because even though they claim they can do it, what they might produce is garbage. Okay. You ever seen those? Oh, we can go ahead and design your logo. We can design, and then they give you a logo and it looks like it was 1960s clip art. You know, there's such a wide variety in terms of the quality of what they produce. You can't rely upon what they say. You've got to actually test it.
Yes.
Okay. Julia, are you going to show it on your computer here or are you going to put it into WhatsApp?
I'll show it in my computer. Sorry. Um,
And I put more videos in the shared drive, by the way.
you did?
Yeah. And YouTube prevented us from sharing, I think, a couple of the videos because they said that our spreadsheet had confidential information on it for people that violated their terms of service, which is not true because I didn't. It doesn't have their home information. It doesn't have their. All it has is their public accessible information. But they still went ahead and banned the videos.
Oh,
So that's all right. That was for training purposes. I might just go ahead and put it into WhatsApp, and then you guys can just download it from WhatsApp. Okay. So,
oh, this one is for the Philippines for the international phone numbers.
I'm sorry. Say that again about international phone numbers.
For the Philippines, the musicians based in the Philippines, there's like the spreadsheet that I made for it.
So what I see on the screen though are wow. Let's see. DE. I see information in the same column where you're mixing data. So you have email and phone in the same column, D, and you can never have that. You have E with Facebook and Instagram and Twitter all together, and you can never have that as well because now you can't do anything with the data. You can't import it anywhere else. You can't do searches on it in terms of listing your information. If I tried to say, okay, list this by Twitter accounts, I couldn't do it because it's embedded with other information in the same cells. And you never put the header inside the same cell as the data. So you've got email inside the same cell when your cell name should be email. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to try to break this apart manually, correct?
Yeah.
Anyone think that's a good idea? Raise your hand. Anyone think that there's most likely a programmatic way to go ahead and separate the data? Raise your hand.
Yes, yes, I think, okay.
I'm sorry, I don't really know how to use it well yet.
That's because you didn't do what?
Research.
Correct. And what are you supposed to do on everything?
Oh, lots of research.
When you don't know something, you research it. When you think you know something, what do?
Your research.
You research it also. How else are you going to learn? So you tell, right, Google or Chat GPT, right?
Yeah.
I've got headers that are inside my cell, and I've got two sets of data inside one cell, and I need to separate it. right? Here's examples of what I got. What's the best way to do it? There, I just gave you the internal guts of your prompt.
Can you do this?
No, I can't give it to you again.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You're screwing up your data right now.
But
Don't,
I was disapproving. No.
don't, whatever you're doing, stop. Okay? Because you're not doing it the right way.
Yeah.
So research how to do it the right way and then make a copy of your spreadsheet so you don't screw up. If you screw it up completely, you can still go back to an earlier version of it. And you can also see if you can run the spreadsheet through AI and ask AI to clean it up for you. But you got to tell it what to do. There's so many ways that you can fix this.
Yes.
Learn them. Where did you get this information?
AI, ChatGPT.
So you didn't tell it how to do the work properly.
Yes. I just told them the things I needed.
But then what you could have done when you saw the information coming back in the wrong way, you could have said, do X, Y, and Z with it. So all you did was stop when you felt you got some of the right information. And that's not how you achieve your goal, your objective. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Haven't
I got
haven't I showed you before where I had written a prompt, then I modified the prompt, right? And I modified it one more time to go ahead and get, whatever programs I was doing, right, with more and more refined information so that I can actually use it better. Because sometimes it doesn't understand what you want it to do, and it gives you the information in a way that you can't use it. Other times it's you didn't tell it properly, so it's not giving you the right information. Either way, you've got to correct it. Make sense?
it makes sense.
Go back to column A. No,
Huh?
I didn't say go back to a different spreadsheet.
Oh, sorry.
I said
Sorry.
go back to column A. Okay. Go to your right?
Right.
Yeah, so I can see more of column F, G, whatever. So there's no contact representative for any of these people. There's no publicist on any of these people.
Only their management. I tried to put it in my prompt, but I'll try it next time.
Where's your
Right.
copy of the prompt?
Oh, it was here. It was this one. Okay.
I think you need to go to the top to see your prompt.
Oh, yeah.
You
It's just a bit late. It's just a bit late.
create a table of, okay, including their musical management agency. You didn't ask for any official, you didn't ask for any specific person in your prompt. You
When
didn't,
I try to, it
you didn't
tells me it
ask for
violates the
what?
when I tried to tell well, I'll try to do it right now actually. Because one time I tried it, they said it violates the policy of privacy. I think it was privacy.
Then you've got to address that. And the answer is you got to tell it, no, it doesn't. Because you're asking
Okay.
for public information on, right, what their management company is, what their publicist is, right? Who's representing them, first name, last name, title, company, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And this is not in a spreadsheet form. You didn't ask it to put it in a spreadsheet form
Okay.
with separate columns for the different headers.
All right, I'll ask that.
So you're not using the 4 components or elements of effective prompt writing, are you?
No.
You're not telling it what its expertise is. You're not telling what you need, what you want it to do specifically, what your objective is specifically. Create a spreadsheet with the following column headers. Blah, 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 blah. You're not telling it, to use, factual information, cite sources, right? Don't hallucinate, don't fabricate information. Okay. So until you start to use the system, you're going to get results like this. And you're going to have to do 10 times more work. So learn the system, use the system. It's like Luke Skywalker. If you don't practice the Force and use it, you're never going to be successful as a Jedi.
What, a Jedi?
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm not even a Star Wars fan, and she doesn't know what a Jedi is, right?
I know what it's like. It was like
What?
nothing. Not even gonna say it.
Isaac, you know what a Jedi is?
So,
Was that a no or a
no,
yes?
sir.
You don't know what a
No.
Jedi is. Jadib, you know what a Jedi is?
I do not follow much. Yeah.
Boots cracking up. Okay. That's all right. Just follow Star Trek and you're much better off. Okay. Everybody know the difference between Star Trek and Star Wars?
I do not know that.
Okay. You can ask your dad.
I only know Star Wars, but
Well, then you should know what a Jedi is if you know Star Wars.
is it like the short guy with weird ears?
That's Yoda
Oh, that's Yoda. I don't know
or
Jedi.
Baby Yoda or whatever, Baby Gaga or whatever the hell his name is. Okay. Um,
Oh no, no, no. Oh, I was still sharing my screen.
yeah,
No, for sure. I have questions. I think I have a lot of questions for you
you know,
about the
about Star
calls.
Wars and Baby Yoda. Go ahead.
Oh my gosh, it's not about that.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll like wait. Let me go. I listed it.
Do the prompt later. Don't do it now. Ask your
Okay.
questions now.
Oh, can I be like a bit more specific with your personal assistants when I talked in the phone?
With their personal assistants,
Yes.
the answer is yes. But the thing is that understand that they don't have a lot of time. So you've got to be good at taking your clues from them.
Mister, can I go straight away? Like, can I immediately state the benefit? I mean, like, what they can get,
No,
the
because
benefits for them?
not right
Or,
away. You gotta set it up first.
yeah.
You gotta set it up and tell them why you're calling, where you're calling from.
Yeah. Is
I
it right that I said it was based from New York, but I'm in Texas, so it's okay, right, if I say New York?
yes.
Yeah, it's in New York. And I had this one call with the publicist, Mr. Benjamin, and he let me talk. And you told me, right, I need to pause, right, in some certain case, in some certain parts of a script.
And then he said, just send me the email and
Yes, I
you
don't know.
get a chance
This,
to go ahead and send the rest.
Does
So,
that mean
so,
that they're
so then the answer is you say, let me confirm, is your email still? And then you tell him what
okay?
the email is. And he says, yes, no.
Okay, confirm the email
And then say, not a problem. I'll get that out to you in the next
okay,
day or so. And then I'll follow up.
I got it. Okay, some of these musicians, they don't have contacts, so I
That's because they're
I go to their
not
LinkedIn.
tier, they're not
Is that
tier one musicians. They might be tier 2 or 3.
oh, if they don't have contacts, it means they don't have.
Most likely correct.
Okay.
Yep. Because it
But I
goes,
reached them out through LinkedIn, is that correct?
you can certainly.
Okay. What?
The main thing is that you
Okay. So I
actually,
think I had a fairly, I think, successful um hello? I can't hear you.
continue. Come on,
Hello?
talk, talk, talk.
Yeah,
Say
I
what you
couldn't
got to
hear you
say.
a while ago. I'm sorry.
Go
I
ahead.
forgot my question. Okay. I had a successful kind of call with the assistant. She is her personal assistant. So she told me she tells everything to her publicist. So I was like hesitating, maybe I should just tell her like the script. But I guess no.
You need to make decisions while you're on the call.
Yeah.
And yes, you can then check with me if your decision was correct. What's the purpose of the call?
Yeah. Oh, the person for a media opportunity.
What's the purpose of the call?
The purpose of the call is to talk with the publicist directly and tell her the details.
The purpose of the call is to make a connection, to get them the
Okay.
information so that they can go ahead and hopefully make a favorable determination to have their client participate in the interview process. Is that correct?
Oh, can you repeat the last bit part, the last half? I'm sorry.
No.
Okay, I got it.
Come on. You should know what the purpose is, why you're reaching out to them.
Yes.
Okay. I shouldn't have to go over that again, right? So you should be able to say it to me just like I said it to you, right? So the thing
Oh,
is, if all you're getting is their assistant who says, I'll pass on the information directly, you're going to say,
and
no, I can't give it to you, right? I only want to go ahead. You can say, sure, we have a publicity opportunity for her client. And I, wanted to share the details and the benefits of that. So, if you can relay the information and tell me a good time to call her back, that would be great. And then if she says, well, why don't you, okay, I understand that. Why don't you send me the email? Say, certainly, I'll get it out to you in a day or two. And then I'll follow up shortly after that, right? Um, and then you can just leave it at that. Okay. So thank you for taking my call, right? We look forward to, moving on to the next step or whatever. Okay. And that's it, right? You're stopping after you get one thing of feedback and you're not saying, I'm not going to stop until I get 10 people on the phone, regardless of the outcome. I need to speak to 10 people. We went over this already, didn't we?
yes.
So, and then you've got to update your spreadsheet, email. right? And notes, spoke to assistant. And you can say, right, what's your name? And then you say, thank you, Margie, right? I'll get that information out again. Or I'll get that information out in the next couple of days. And then you go ahead and you get in touch with me and say, okay, I got 3 people who want to be emailed. I got
Okay.
4 people I got to call back tomorrow. That's the way you do this.
Yeah.
Not, I got 1 person, wow, right?
Oh, come on, mister. It's an accomplishment for me, I think.
Yeah, okay, it's good that you got 1 person. It's better than none. It's 100% better than none. But that's not how you're going to be successful. You've got to change your behavior and change your mindset about how you're doing it. You got it?
I got it. Oh, about this, there's this one, another publicist.
Yes.
I was able to call him, but he was on his way to a meeting, and so he cut me off. That's fine. I call him back.
Okay. So you don't, okay. I don't need to know that,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
Okay. You need to put it in your notes and then you call him back, right? Either 2 hours later or the next day and say, we were speaking about, we got interrupted, right? And this will only take, a minute of your time. I know you're busy. And then say what you got to say. This is where, right, you are learning advanced communication skills that will help you further down the road. Because if you're going to end up doing interviews with people, you've got to know how to communicate effectively. And it's got to be conversational. And you got to be
Yeah.
able to handle things that come up, okay, in the conversation. So it sounds like, you're on a high level. And the only way you get there is by practice, practice, practice.
I think I'm getting better at it every day.
I'm sure you are. But if you're only making 5 phone calls, it's going to take way too long
Yeah.
for you to do this. You've got to get in the habit of calling, 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 and making your notes, right? As you go along really quickly and not just doing administrative stuff. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. I also there one time the guy that I called, I think he was so rude. That's it. But I just kept my temper, everything.
Really? You should have cursed him out and said,
I mean, it's not rude in a very rude way. He's just like, I think he had a bad day. That's it.
and when I say you should have cursed him out, I'm joking 100%. The
Yeah.
answer is, so what if the person's rude?
Yeah.
Big deal, right? It's not against you personally. They don't know you personally.
Hmm.
Okay. So, yeah, you can chalk it up. The person's an idiot. The person's having a bad day, whatever. And you can still call them back in a couple of days and see if you want. And if they're rude again, say, look, I'm trying to go ahead and give you an opportunity, give your clients an opportunity, right? And I don't understand why you're going ahead and speaking this way, but if you don't want me to go ahead and spend the 30 seconds explaining it to you, no problem. I wish you the best. Goodbye. You got it?
I got it. I mean, okay, he's not the rude is. It just sounds like he was rude. I was gonna clear that up. So yeah.
So I sound like I'm rude when I'm talking to you guys, right? 50% of the time, because
Oh.
I'm speaking extremely directly to you,
Mhm.
whereas you're not used to being spoken to that way. So it sounds like I'm rude. Okay. Whereas I'm really just being very direct. If I was rude, I'd say a lot of other things, which I'm not saying, which I'm not going to give you examples of. I'll do it off camera one day. Okay. And I can be really rude. Nah, only if I really want to act like that, which I don't do, period. The only time I get really rude is with the phone company when they've had me on hold for 2 hours and they've switched me to 5 different representatives because they don't want to handle the problem because they want to go ahead and keep my money when they shouldn't have taken it out in the first place. Then I might get a little annoyed. Okay.
Oh, did you say something to them?
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
And then they say, right, there's no reason for you to be rude. And I say, I'm not being rude. I'm being, right, very forceful in what I'm saying because I'm upset with your company as well as, right, the way customer service or your representatives are handling, right, me as a customer, where under no circumstances, right, should I be on the phone with multiple representatives who pass me back and forth for a half an hour, let alone an hour or 2 hours. So, yes, I'm pissed off because of how you're treating me. And you're getting paid to go ahead and do that. You're wasting my time, and I'm not getting compensated for that. So, I have a right to be upset. Just like if you were in my situation, you would be upset. So,
good.
yeah, there's always things that you can say. Okay. And I say also sometimes, I'm saying this so that you can go ahead and you can put it in the record and submit it to management, upper management, that you have a very dissatisfied customer because of X, Y, and Z. And if enough customers spoke up about your company's behavior with this, maybe you guys would change it. So, anyway, that's my customer service lesson for today.
It's very good. Thank you.
You're welcome. If you want me to yell at customer service for you, let me know.
I'm not a yeller.
Did you read Old Yeller in school? Okay.
I don't know what that is. I'm
It's a
sorry.
book. It's a book. Don't worry about it. It's a bad joke, but it's true. It's a book. And poor old Yeller gets taken outside the back and right, the owner takes care of him. Okay, that's all I remember. Okay, so we're not going to do that with anybody anytime soon. All righty. So you know how what you're going to do with your spreadsheet, but you have to get with the Pmoros system and use it right now if you're going to do research into additional contacts that you want to reach out to. So write your objective, write your user generated prompt, right? Run it through AI, have it improve it, do a test, show everything to me by tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Everybody good? Okay, good. All right. We're going to get into phase 2, right? Where we're going to start doing implementation. We've done a lot of foundation work. Okay. And you'll still have opportunities to do more foundation work and continually improve. But let's get into the next step, because, then we've got to actually start using things in the real world so that we can start getting, I don't want to say results yet, right? That might be stage 3 or 4, depending on what we're working on. Okay. So, but we want to make progress, because, like, for those of you who are working on books, we want to have a book done, right, by the end of the summer. Right, Isaac? Okay. Right. For the products, we want to have the products done by the end of the summer, if not sooner, so that they can be in the with the retailers and available online. We want to have the apps built in just a matter of literally a month or 2, period. And we've got a lot of apps in a lot of different areas, and they vary in terms of complexity. Actually, if I'm doing them, unfortunately, they turn out to be more complex because there's more layers than sometimes normal, but that's okay. So, we've all got stuff that we want to see the results on, and that's what we're doing. That's what we're going to do. Okay, we're good for now, right? And I'll let you know. Check your WhatsApp later. I'll let you know what time. I think I'm going to do in the morning, because some people obviously, right, are 8 hours difference or something like that. So we'll do blah, blah, blah. Okay. Thanks, guys. If you have any questions, as always, just text me.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Okay.
Bye,
Thanks.
Mr. Benjamin. Bye, guys.
Bye, Julia. Bye,
Bye.
Jadeep, Isaac, and may the force be with you all. Okay. You can do your research. Okay. Bye, guys.